Hey, what's up, guys? A while back, I posted a poll, I guess, or an open-ended thing where you can ask some questions on Instagram, and thought I would take a vlog to kind of answer those instead of just typing them out on Instagram. So I'm going to do that again in the future. If you want to follow me and ask questions there, I'll answer them here on the vlog. And so I am DK Bernard on Instagram, so you can follow me there at DK Bernard. And just be on the lookout. Also, I drop kind of teasers to content or just different things. If you want to interact with me, Instagram's a great way to do so. So I'm going to just dive right in, try to make this as succinct as possible, and answer some of you guys' questions. So what exercise do you prefer to improve tempo and hand speed? The general or simple answer is just working with a metronome. Do everything with a metronome. So whether it be singles, doubles, metronome is the way that you can standardize and understand if you're improving, because it literally gives you a bar to set for yourself. Which drummers inspired you during your whole drumming career? So for me, my inspiration was really about kind of the timing in which a drummer came on the scene versus when I was playing and stuff. So honestly, one of my biggest influencers was Big Mike Clemens on the Israel New Breed Alive in South Africa. Just the time in my playing when that album dropped and where I was and kind of this place I was with my drumming, that was one of the most, if not the most influential drummers and albums for me, just because of, again, where it landed and everything. But I draw a lot of inspiration from, kind of like the standards, right? Calvin Rogers. But one of my favorites also is Terry Baker, Kirk Franklin. Those guys, just incredible player. Teddy Campbell, another great one. Chris Coleman, if you want to just watch somebody absolutely murder the kit. Benny Greb, off the beaten path a little bit for gospel players or whatever, but incredible drummer. So yeah, that kind of answers that. Your favorite tom and snare heads. So it depends on the kit and what kind of sound you're getting. For me, on this Mapex Saturn kit that I love, I'm just loving the Remo Emperor clears. So it's a 2-ply head and masters on the bottom. And then on my snare head, I'm actually running an older snare. So it's a 67 Ludwig Superphonic. So I'm running a kind of like a vintage A single ply, and then I can muffle it to taste. So that really works for me. If I use the same cymbals you use at my church as well, will I get the same sound times as well? So no, you won't, because every situation is different. We have an open kit here. Sometimes we have a shield in front of it, but having an open kit just greatly affects the sound of the drums. So the snare that I have now would not sound good in a cage, in my opinion, because it would be a little too choked when your kit is open. It can breathe more. So everything from, literally everything. There's so many variables, but tuning, if the kit's in a cage or not, what kind of drums you have, what kind of mics you're using. There's so many variables, but can you get a good sound? Absolutely. You just got to figure out what works in your environment. Someone asked, how are you? I'm doing good. Thank you. Okay. Do you get paid to play drums at your church? So no, I am on staff at my church, but my position is student pastor. So my full-time job is to work with our student ministry. So drumming is a volunteer position. I'm actually not playing drums for the entire month of February or March at our church because I'm teaching a special Sunday school series to our students. So it's a volunteer position. So no, I don't get paid for that specifically. How do you clean your cymbals? I honestly don't a lot. If I do, the stuff I use is I can't remember who makes it, but it's called Groove Juice. But you just got to be really careful because it'll rip off logos, emblems. It'll strip your cymbals. But I honestly don't clean my cymbals very often at all. I don't have that many brilliant cymbals. Most of my stuff is a little more of like the traditional finish or whatever. So in that case, the dirtier the better in some instances. What's the best way to get a beefy Bethel type sound on my snare? My favorite head for that is the Remo P77. I think it's a 2-ply with like a reinforcement ring in the middle. It's just a big beefy head that you can tune down a little bit. And also, Big Fat Snare Drum products are great. There's a ton of stuff out there. Snare Weight is another great product. So just playing around with it and finding a good combination of head tension to different products that can kind of give you that fat tone. How to create a YouTube and Instagram platform. Really, you guys can answer this because you can answer what works for you, from me to you, what works and appeals to you. But one of the biggest things I would say is just consistency, right? Consistency in quality and posting, and so that's one of the biggest things. What pedal do you use? I love Iron Cobras. Man, I love Iron Cobras. How old were you when you started drumming? I was 3 when I started playing, but I was honestly about 16 when I really got serious about it. How do I know when it's time to change my drum heads? Really, this comes down to wear factor. I mean, obviously, if they're dimpled up, then yes, it's time to change them. But if they're just sounding flat, they're not really resonating, not really keeping a pitch, then that's also a good indicator. But I'm not really so much of the, if it's a year on the dot, change them. I'm really just kind of a feel. Right now, these heads have been on here for a while, but they sound great. Not really been a heavy hitter recently, and so I think it just depends on the tone and feel, if you're getting the tones you want out of them. Are you playing NAYC? I got that question like 50 times. No. That's the answer. Let's see. Did you ever play with Nathan Barrett? No. I didn't. How often do you travel? I really don't travel that much anymore. I really am just so locked in here at my church that I don't really take that many gigs out. I take a couple a year if it's a fun place or a fun opportunity or something. But as far as for music, I don't really travel that much. I don't take that many music gigs anymore, to be honest. Advice on buying mics for drums and setting up Avioms. I can't really give you much advice on Avioms. I've never set any up myself. But for mics, I bought most all the mics I have on eBay or Craigslist, believe it or not. I would always say, take your time, get good mics. You know, the mic packs like the Audix F series, they're good, but this kind of stuff you're going to grow out of. My favorite mics, toms, are the Sennheiser E604s for the profile and the clarity that you get. Obviously, if you want to throw MD421s on there, great, but they're super expensive and they're monstrous. So the E604s are awesome. I record everything with those. 57s, you can't go wrong. SM57s are amazing. Shure overheads and condensers. I love Shure's condensers. Beta 52 on kick. Shure is a great one as well. Snare drum you recommend in the low-mid price range. That's really relative. But, man, I really love the Black Panther snares from Mapex. So I have the Black Widow, and then I've also got the Sledgehammer. But really, all of the Black Panther snares are incredible. The Mapex stuff, and even in their Armory snares are incredible. The reason I say that is they're decently priced, like $350 for their higher end ones. They have some that are a little more expensive than that, but the construction is just so incredible. The throw-offs are amazing. The hardware is amazing. They are just solid snares, so you can't go wrong. But again, go pick up, if you're going to go cheaper than that, you want a $150 snare, go pick up an Acrolite. I think it's like Black Galaxy or whatever. There's tons of old Acrolites and Superphonics floating around. Again, the snare that I'm playing is a 67 Superphonic. Got it for $150 on eBay. Sounds great. If you're willing to put a little work in it, you can get a great sound. Good overhead mics. I like KSM 32s, 44s, SM 81s. Those are a little more expensive, but the SM 81s aren't that bad. But I've got a video here on my page about like a $20 overhead that if you got $20, it's a good value. I wouldn't recommend it if you have more money than that, though. How do you record the sound for your videos? So our front of house board is a Yamaha M7. It's an older digital board, but it's great. And we can multi-track out of that via Dante into Logic Pro X. Just Google Dante, multi-track Dante. It's not really worth going into the specifics because every board has its own way of doing things. If you have the Behringer X32 or whatever, those Behringer boards, you can multi-track off those really easily. How to get better at fills. I've got a couple of fill videos here on my channel. Check those out. I think with fills, it's better to learn systems and patterns versus like a specific fill, even though I teach you specific fills on my channel. But the idea is it's a base of linear ideas that you can build your own fills out of. What are some solid budget-friendly options for drum sets, snare drums? Here's the thing. Everybody makes nice drums now, man. Everyone makes great drums. Gretsch Catalina kits are great. The Mapex Armory kits are great. Everybody makes good drums. I love this Mapex Saturn kit. It's just incredible. I've talked about it several times before, so I'm not going to go into it. I've got a Thomas Star Classic kit that I love. It's the first kit that I ever bought. It's an incredible kit. We have a Gretsch Catalina kit here at the church that does great in our student center. We have a DW Collector series that I love, but I love these Mapex drums just as much. And the shell pack's like $1,500, where that DW kit was like $4,000 or something. So it's really about your preference. But again, everyone makes good kits. Hey, go pick up one of those. What is it? Ludwig. What is it? Questlove drums. Breakbeat. I can't remember the exact name, but if you type in Questlove drums, it's like $400 for a shell pack, and you can get some great tones out of them. Sonar makes great drums. They've got some smaller kits, like their Safari kit, their Martini kits, that are super tiny if you're looking for a tiny kit. But everybody makes great drums. Just thought I would dive in and answer some of these questions on Instagram. If you have a question, you can feel free to leave it here, and I'll try to comment and answer. But if you want me to answer it in the form of a vlog like this one, I would suggest you hop on my Instagram profile and ask a question there when I post those questions, or just DM me and hit me up that way. But thanks for watching. I've got links to all kinds of stuff in the description of this video, as well as all my videos. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Consider it. Give this video a thumbs up, share it, and again, ask questions, and anything I can do to help, I'm happy to be here for you guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.